Today we are going to be comparing the different asphalt shingles. We're going to be using three criteria for it. The number one is the technical aspects of each of the shingles. The second one is the real world problems that we have had over the last 33 years installing tens of thousands of roofs and asphalt roofs. And the third one that we're going to talk about is the manufacturer support. How well the manufacturer supports us and how well the manufacturer is going to support you in case there's any type of defect. Hopefully this information will be real good. Today what we're going to do is we're going to compare what I call the middleweight shingles. These are asphalt laminated shingles and they're in the midweight category. These are the workhorse of the industry. Probably about 90% of all asphalt roofs are these roofs right here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you why they call it a laminated shingle. The reason that they're called a laminated shingle is because they have a solid back strip and they are laminated or glued to this top section right here. They're manufactured in two different pieces and then they are laminated or glued together. The reason I'm showing this to you because this part is very important. It's going to be something that we talk about when we're comparing all the different shingles. It is the overlap. It's where the top of the shingle overlaps the bottom part of the shingle right there. The industry term is called the common bond. This is really important because for the best wind adherence, you want to make sure that that nail catches both of the layers of shingles. This is actually a shingle that we took off of a roof, and you can see the nails that we put through. That nail caught both sections of the roof. This is the best way to make sure that your shingles stay on. So we've done this comparison and we have chosen 6 of the most common roofing materials that are distributed in the Denver, Colorado area. First one is TAMKO. We have Malarkey, JF, CertainTeed, PABCO, and Owens Corning. And like I said before, depending on who you talk to, they're going to tell you they have their favorites. I'm going to tell you what my favorite is. The first one, and I'll get right to it, the number one winner in our list is the Owens Corning Duration Shingle. They make this in a number of different types. They make it class 4, so it's hail resistant. The hail will bounce off of it. Number 2 is the PABCO. We like PABCO a lot. Number 3 in our survey, CertainTeed. The 4th one is going to be GAF. Coming in at number 5 is Malarkey, and rounding out the list at the bottom is TAMKO, which is unfortunate. In the beginning, when we started the company in the early 90s, we installed so much TAMKO. That was our number one. In the late 90s and early 2000s, we started having a lot of problem with those shingles. So we got away from them. And then we actually moved to GAF. For a while, GAF was our number one line that we used. And then in about the mid 2000s, we started installing more of the Owens Corning. The Owens Corning is the best performing shingle that we've ever had, and a couple other things that I'll tell you about. Stick around for the end of the video. CertainTeed has always been a player. We've installed a certain amount of CertainTeed throughout the years. It's a pretty darn good shingle. The first thing that we have rated on the shingles is the nailing zone. Each one of the shingles has an area where you're supposed to put the nail through. We like the Owens Corning the best. No, it's not the widest nailing zone. You can see the CertainTeed is a little bit wider, but it's such a defined nailing zone. But the thing about the Owens Corning shingle, it has this fabric strip. It's called the Sure Nail strip. The Sure Nail strip is actually a 3rd layer, so it's going to provide more holding power, especially in the summertime when it's hot, or if you have multiple guns on the same compressor. It's easy to blow the nail right through the shingles. Let's see if I can do an example of something like that real quick, where the nail goes in and then it's actually, you can see it's torn through pretty easily. We're going to try that on the Owens Corning shingle. I'm going to push the nail through, and that's kind of hard. Trying to get the nail all the way through. You know what, I cannot rip this through the shingle like I did that other one by hand. I'm sure if I had a pair of pliers, I could rip it through. That is one of the reasons we really like this guy. So the nailing zone. On this particular shingle, the nailing zone is 1 inch wide, and our common bond on this is about 50% or more. That means the overlap. So that nail's going to catch quite a bit of it. PABCO's our number 2. We have a nailing zone that is 1 inch wide. The common bond is 75%. So we're going to catch quite a bit. CertainTeed has a huge nailing zone, and that makes it really easy for the roofers to make sure they're getting the nail in the right spot. But the problem is most of this nailing zone does not catch both layers of shingles. CertainTeed says if you're going to do this on a steep or a vertical slope, you have to put the nails in this very specific zone that's about a 1/4 inch wide. So that's the nailing zone on that. JF, they have another nailing zone that's really wide. Like it a lot. However, that common bond, the overlap, is very small. So you can put the nail right in the center of the nailing zone and it's not even going to catch any of this bottom part of the shingle. Malarkey, they've got another nailing zone that's really wide, 1.7 inches wide. And you know what? Their overlap is great. It's like 75%. So it's really easy for the roofers to nail the shingle on and get it through the double layer. TAMKO just puts this thin line on there. I don't like that so much because when the roofers are really going fast with the nail guns, and if you ever watch or listen to them putting on a roof, you'll hear them, it goes, these guys are moving. But for them to get that nail right in the nailing zone every time is really difficult. What is good about the TAMKO shingle, if you nail it exactly where you're supposed to, you're going to catch 100% of the double layer of the common bond. That's the nailing area. I do think that Owens Corning wins this one because they've got the Sure Nail strip. Now, you might be thinking, well, Jay, if that Sure Nail strip is so good, why don't all the manufacturers do it? This is the reason why. It's patented. As soon as the patent on the Sure Nail strip runs out, I think almost every manufacturer is going to put it on their shingles. Okay, I flipped all the shingles over because I want to show you this. This is what we call the seal down strip. After we put the shingles on, when the shingles are in the sun, the seal down strip melts and it melts the entire roof together. I'm not a chemical engineer, so I can't tell you about the holding power of each one. They all look like they're put on pretty well. They have a decent amount of material. I'm not positive exactly what temperature they all activate and melt down. I do know that if the roof is maybe 60 degrees and the sun is shining on it, it should melt down. If you live out in the plains, you do not want to put your roof on during the middle of winter because if you get a lot of dust blowing under the shingles and that dust gets on the seal down strip, your roof will never seal down and you'll forever have blow-offs, and that will be the reason why. Okay, so we flipped all the shingles over and this is what I want to show you. This is the Owens Corning shingle. It has the seal down strip right here. When we put this shingle down and lay it on top of the adjoining shingle, what happens is that seal down strip connects with the Sure Nail strip, that fabric strip. That is going to seal down better than if we put the seal down strip directly on the asphalt granules. The granules tend to rip off a little bit easier. This Sure Nail strip is bonded on the shingle so hard. So what we're doing, and what Owens Corning is doing, is they're saying you nail it right here, and they've applied their glue, their seal down strip, so it goes to the Sure Nail strip. And in my opinion, that's why this shingle seals down better than any of them. We see less wind blow off problems with these guys. So if you look at the PABCO, they don't have a designated area for the seal down strip. The CertainTeed, GAF, Malarkey, not so much. We'll say the CertainTeed, GAF, and TAMKO all have an area where there is not granules applied. The reason why is because that is where the seal down strip is supposed to adhere to the shingle. So that's the seal down strip and why I think Owens Corning wins it. The next category that we're going to talk about is the amount of problems that Excel Roofing has had with shingles over the years. We've installed thousands of TAMKO roofs, hundreds of Malarkeys, hundreds of GAFs, thousands of CertainTeeds, hundreds of PABCOs, and thousands of the Owens Corning. In our experience, the manufacturer defects, unfortunately it's this guy right here. We've seen the most defects with him, and TAMKO. Those are the two manufacturers we have seen the most defects with. We had some really huge windstorms last fall up in Wyoming. We did a couple Malarkey roofs. We had Malarkey shingles blow off. The unfortunate part, Malarkey provided us the shingles, but they did not pay for any labor to put those shingles on. I was kind of disappointed by that. CertainTeed, really all of these guys right here, if there's a defective roof and I have to go replace it, I'm not very excited. PABCO, they're you know what? I don't know if you have any problems with these shingles. Owens Corning, on rare occasion, we have had problems with the shingles. The defects that can happen to asphalt shingles, the granules will come off, and sometimes you'll see them in the bottom of your downspout under the gutters. Don't be alarmed. What can happen is the granules accumulate over the year, and then if you get a big, huge rainstorm, they'll all wash out at once. So if you do have this happen and you think you've got a problem with the roof, give us a call. We'll come out, we will inspect the roof, and we'll let you know if there's a problem. But the Owens Corning, on the rare occasion where there's a manufacturer's defect, Owens Corning pays better than any of the other manufacturers. And I'm not going to do a deep dive into the warranty right this minute. Check out our warranty video. That's where I'm going to go. That's where we go into that deeper dive. Let's talk just a little bit about the manufacturer support to the contractor and to the customer. I believe that Owens Corning has the best manufacturer support. If we ever have a problem and we need to get an Owens Corning rep out there, they go out there. It's not a big deal. Some of these other companies, it's just like pulling teeth. And as a matter of fact, some of these other companies have told me, we're not allowed to get on the roof, Jay. I think that's crazy. How can you be the representative for a shingle manufacturer and they don't even allow you to get on the roof to see if the product is good or not? That is the technical, the problems that we have seen and the manufacturer support. In my opinion, like I'm saying, based on all of the different criteria, Owens Corning is my number one. PABCO is my number two choice. If I was doing a new roof, a new asphalt roof on my house, those would be the number one and number two choices. If you have any questions, or if you're a shingle geek like me and you want to leave some comments below and tell us your opinion, feel free. I welcome everybody's opinion. If you would like more information, you should go to our Learning Center. Our Learning Center has a bunch of videos that covers the different products and services that we offer. You can learn a lot of stuff. If you haven't already, give us a call to schedule a time for us to come out, or you can use our online scheduler. With the online scheduler, you can pick a day and a time that works best for you, and we will be there. Really look forward to working with you on your project. Thanks.